Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join real estate entrepreneur and mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney. Guys, welcome back to Construct Your Life. I got a special guest here. We got Benjamin Kogut. How you doing, buddy?
Better than I deserve. Thanks so much for having me.
I love it. Well, I just saw today that Tyler Chester released y'all's podcast today. He was actually the first one on my podcast and helped me with the name of my podcast. I met him at Best Conference Ever. And then Matt Tefke wanted to connect us. So we've actually never spoken, only through DMs. So I'm going to go on along the ride here with you guests, just like I am, and meet Ben. He's a commercial broker, commercial investor, all that stuff. So why don't you tell us kind of your story, how you got started, and we'll go from there.
Sure. So let's see. I've been in Austin, Texas for the last 20 years, came here from Dallas to go to the University of Texas, graduated, got right into commercial real estate. I started educating myself, got my CCIM, found some great mentors, started just doing brokerage deals. And then in the downturn around 08, 09, business dried up. And so then I went back to school and got my MBA, went to this really intense one-year program called Acton, which is here in Austin. That was an amazing experience. And then from there, from a work perspective, I went and worked for a high net worth family office here in town, doing asset management. That ran a couple of years. And then from there, it was like, all right, this is time to start my own company. And so around 2014 or so, I started a brokerage company, a development company, and an investment. Started putting investments together. That kind of brought me up to about a couple of years ago. So around 2018, started getting involved in real estate syndications. And partnered up with a good friend of mine named Corey Harkleroad, who has a company called HJH Investments, which is in the business of buying retail, office, and industrial properties through real estate syndications. And he asked me to come on board as a partner in the company and sort of specialize in helping him raise capital and handle investor relations. And that's primarily what I do from a work perspective right now. And it's a lot of fun.
I love it. So this is great because I'm learning as I'm going. This is what you do is my dream job. Like, I don't want to do the investments. I just want to raise money, and investors' relationships is what I'm good at. People come to me because I'm kind of the middle guy for a lot of stuff. So, the Action Academy, after one of the guys I know is really behind that. My ex-business partner is like obsessed with that school.
Who's that?
He's up in California, Jeremy Taylor, and he loves that, and they're trying to, not him, but somebody we know is trying to grow that kind of through the country. So it was really cool to hear that. When you started out in the business, which you're in, I lived there for 9 years, so you're in one of my favorite cities. The question is there a better city to go to college in than Austin, Texas? I don't think there is.
Horns, baby. No, I love Austin. I'm just so blessed to get to be here. The city, I mean, it used to be a college town. My family's actually been in Austin for about 100 years, believe it or not. So I'm a fourth generation Austinite. But like now, it's no one talks about it like it's a college town anymore. It's almost like the second Silicon Hills is what they call it. I love it. It's exciting.
Yeah, it's fun. So when I've always been interested. I worked for private equity for about a year and a half. I've always been interested in the family office stuff and raising funds. And we're looking into it right now, doing that for syndications and stuff. What would you tell the younger investors that are getting started? Maybe they're coming out of college. Maybe they're making a life choice. Maybe they're changing. What would you tell them how you get started in a business like that when in the real estate world, there's so many avenues you can go down? I almost call it the shiny object syndrome, where it's almost like they cram too much in their brain and then they don't do anything.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's easy. There's so many different facets of commercial real estate. It's hard to focus. A couple of things I'd say. Number one, a book that really had an influence on me was a book called The One Thing by Gary Keller. And basically it's like just focus on one thing and kick ass at that one thing and be known for that one thing. And so I decided that I wanted to be known for being a guy that raises capital for commercial real estate syndications. And once I made that decision, that's really what I've been laser focused on ever since. And I agree with you, man. This is my dream job. I feel so blessed. It's like the perfect alignment of like my 16 years of commercial real estate experience, aligned with my passion for helping others and educating people about commercial real estate and schmoozing and hanging out and just, shooting the shit. So it's pretty fun.
Hmm.
I've always been somebody that values building relationships. And so the other advice I would say is like, if you're young or old or whatever it is, like you have relationships, you have people in your life, people that trust you, people that believe in you, and vice versa. And I'd say like, like that's value right there. Right. And it's not like I'm asking people for their money or whatever. It's more like, hey, I have an opportunity
Mm.
to invest in a deal. We already have this relationship, like that I know what I'm doing. Is this something that appeals to you? Right? Would you like to make some money with us?
Yeah.
And lots of times the answer is yes. And sometimes it's like, hey, it looks like a great deal. I'm just not a whatever investor. I like multifamily, or like I don't do any multifamily. Some people just all they do is multifamily, or all they do is industrial or retail or whatever. So our niche is retail, office, and industrial. And it's just building relationships and just most of the time it's just hanging out, really.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that because like for me, I'm a mindset coach. That's what I do. And like, that's where I drill down on. And, what people don't understand is when you're raising capital, you have to switch the narrative in your head as I'm I'm begging or like I'm offering up. Like, no, you're giving them an opportunity, right? To sit back, a doctor or whoever it is, and literally let his money work for him. And so when you switch that narrative, it changes the whole game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a well vetted opportunity. I believe in the opportunity. I personally go because most of the deals that we buy are not in Texas. So it requires a lot of travel, which is very difficult right now during the COVID situation. But I personally go there. I shoot little videos out there. I go and we dig up everything we possibly can during our due diligence process. And honestly, like there's a couple things that have been kind of unexpected about now that like I'm just like a capital raising guy.
Hmm.
Number one, the relationships that I have with those people that have invested with me has gone up significantly. It's just like we've become much closer friends. We talk a lot more. I've had people now like bring me into their deals as an investor, some non-real estate stuff that I'm investing in right now that is just awesome.
Hmm.
And then the other thing I didn't realize is how much I enjoy teaching.
Yes.
I never thought I was a teacher. I taught tennis like when I was back in the day, but like I've never been a teacher. And so now like I find myself teaching people about commercial real estate and it's just been awesome. It's super personally rewarding.
It's wild because it's amazing to me how many times I bring people on that I don't know too well on this podcast and we align. So I was always the lone wolf. Like I was the number one sales guy. And as I've got older, dude, I love teaching. And I never thought I would be that guy. And, partner with my wholesale business partner, he's a young kid. And even he's like, I just love teaching people. And it's like, cause like, it's almost like you're strong enough to like get through this because what I've learned about commercial, this is when I first got in the business, man, you have to be patient. I mean, these deals
Yeah.
take forever and you're young and you're hungry. And I know commercial agents that just start out that maybe wait a year and a half for the first deal. And so what were you telling yourself when you're young, you're hungry and you want to shake the world and these deals just move at a snail's pace?
It's always been this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very cyclical business. Like I'm not too concerned about the crap that the economy's going through right now because I've been prepared. And so having that mentality has been huge. Surrounding myself with quality mentors who care about me has been a game changer for me. Always finding ways to get educated. Even right now, I'm actually reading a significant amount of books, and I'm taking a new course about capital raising,
Hmm.
an online course. So I try to chip away at that every day. So just always, we're always moving forward, and pivoting every once in a while. Like right now, instead of focusing on raising capital, I'm not raising capital at this particular moment. So what I'm doing is I'm working on my business, not in my business. What I mean
Hmm.
by that is podcasts and marketing, and we're scraping the entire marketing plan that we've been using and starting fresh with a new company that's going to take us to the next level. And there's always something to do or learn or connect or build relationships. And there's I can never claim to like have nothing to do in this
Yeah.
business.
No, you're 100% right. Since COVID hit, I've read 31 books or listened to 31 books and taught myself I'm learning Spanish. So it's like, you like I really believe in my heart that life is a choice and you can choose to look at everything through any different kinds of lenses. And if you choose positivity, you choose optimism, which I am massively optimistic at all points. Before you came on, I just recorded probably the rawest. I do like a Wednesday thing, and I addressed all my failures. And my new thing right now is imperfect action leads to amazing results. And everybody's waiting for this opportunity, right? They're waiting for this. Oh, well, I don't know enough, and all this thing. And it's like if you just get started, right, and if you just get rolling. So like what I'm going to dig in here, and we're going to go a little deeper because I'm sure you've done a million interviews on
Right?
commercial real estate. I don't even want to talk about commercial real estate. We're going to talk about mindset, happiness, life choices. I was reading what Tyler said about you, how I can feel how happy you are with life. And so I would imagine that doesn't happen overnight. I would imagine it's a process through trial and error. So let's talk about how you cultivate, such a positive outlook on life and kind of where that started.
Yeah, thanks so much. Well, I got to give my parents and my grandparents a lot of props for that. My dad's like Mr. Rogers. He's just such a kind-hearted guy, and he has nothing to do with real estate. Nobody in my family, by the way, has anything to do with real estate. I don't know what Tyler wrote about, but I'm guessing there's a couple things that I'll share that have been like new. Um, they occur in a new way for me and their mindset things. So number one is life is not fair, right? And what I mean by that is like some people will say, well, this happened and that's not fair. That happened, and I don't know. It's that to me has a victim mentality, first of all, and number two, fairness, in my opinion, is not a real thing. There's no such thing as fairness. What's fair and not fair? Life just is, right? You can't point and say, well, that's fair or that's not fair. It's just it's just like a fake word. You know what I mean? So that came after having having some pretty rough things happen, like basically like a couple bad breakups, right?
All
With
right. There we go. Now it's getting into podcast. Now we're getting into my wheelhouse.
yeah,
So, were they long relationships or short ones or
yes,
just long?
yeah, two. Uh,
Marriage or just dating?
three engagements that didn't ever end up getting married.
You had three you've been engaged 3 times?
Yeah.
Seriously. Wow. And is it you that ended it or they ended it or mutual?
Um, first one, I'd say mutual. Second, we were just too young. The second one, right after we got engaged, I found out she was cheating on me. That was a horrible rough one. And then third one ended, what was that, a year and a half ago now? It's been a while. That one was just all wrong for so many reasons. And
And how old are you currently?
I'm turning 38 on Thursday.
I'm 38, 39 in December. Dating currently or no?
Not really. It's more like just kind of like, how should I put it? Just like my heart's open,
Sure.
you know, but
Hmm.
I'm not like actively, I'm just kind of like, right now the business is the focus. I'm open
Sure.
to it, but it's not like it's hard. Like with COVID and all that, it's like I don't know how you really do much. So it's
uh, but that's wild, man. I would imagine that going into those situations, you're under the impression that this is going to be your life partner, right? And the the I would imagine that it takes some work to open your heart again, after a while. And I'm mainly asking for myself right now, but I'm being a little selfish. But
feels all
yeah,
things. And then there's another thing that another big lesson that I've learned, and I might have talked about this with Tyler, and I'll share it with you. It's the mentality of no fucks given. And so I have like a definition of it, but just floating those words out, what does that mean to you? No fucks given.
it's probably the single greatest thing that has set me on the path I am right now, and it took me 38 years because I didn't love myself enough so I seeked validation from other people, meaning my mentors, people I respect. But what you do is you put them up on a pedestal that they don't even know they're on, and then you allow them to make a mistake and you self-sabotage, right? And so this is like this vicious cycle, right? And it wasn't until I literally rode in the car with one of my mentors in Arizona in January, and he goes, "Hey man, I've listened to you all day. This shit's great." He goes, "But I don't give a fuck."
Yeah.
And he goes, "I'm not trying to be rude. It's just not my life." And then that was like the holy shit moment. And that's like with the podcast, like me finally doing it and like getting raw. And like I just told the story about I was an alcoholic for 20 years. I had a meth problem. I slept in a closet, all these things, right? And everybody's like, "I don't know how you do that." And I'm like, "Because I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck." Like, and the whole part of the podcast is construct your life. It's not construct their life, So, in my opinion, that was a long answer to what I believe that is, and I'd love to hear what you think.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. I'll just kind of put a little twist on it my way, and it's mostly like first let me clarify. It's not no fucks given, like sit on the couch potato, and just watch Netflix all day and blame coronavirus and do nothing. It's more like no fucks given about what society has to say about what you should or shouldn't do with your life. You're 38 years old. You should have this kind of job. You should have this kind of relationship, these many kids, this kind of money, this kind of house, this kind of car. Fuck
Mm,
that.
yeah.
That is all complete, utter bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So no fucks given. And it's not easy. It's not easy. Like I'm not saying that I live a complete 100% to a
Sure.
no fucks given life, right? But I have learned to, like you said earlier, about making decisions. I decide what to do with my time, with my life, with who I surround myself with the food and drinks and whatever I put in my body. That is on me, right?
Yeah.
And it's once you get that in like another level, it's just like so much more freeing. It's like I don't, like
You know what it is? You know what it is, though? This is the hardest part, and this is the thing I'm on right now. Everybody thinks that quitting alcohol or quitting drugs is the hard part. That's not the fucking hard part. The hard part is being around friends that only know you as the drunk or the drug addict, and you're changing. So that puts up a mirror in front of their life, and they want you to go back down with them, right? And what I mean by that is when I travel, everybody's like, "I don't understand how you're fucking doing that." And I'm like, "Well, all my jobs are from my cell phone, so why does it fucking matter to you?" But like that's so easy to slide back into like, well, I should just live in the house and not travel and not do those things. And this is what you're talking about, guys. This is what he's getting at, that you need to understand. Once you adopt this mentality, you are unstoppable. It is because it doesn't matter. And I truly believe, I said this yesterday to a friend, I truly believe that when people enter a relationship or a date or a social event or a family event, they put on a facade of who they think they should be, and they're putting context on every statement instead of just showing up your true self. When me and you are talking, we have no idea how this is going to land for somebody, right? But we're self-confident enough and happy with ourselves enough to know that it doesn't matter. Like this podcast doesn't matter. It's just if it lands for you, it hits you. If we affect one person and we change, caring about what your dad thinks about you or your stepmom or whatever it is, like zero fucks given. I love that. I'm going to make a shirt. It's in.
I'll add a couple more things in response to what you said, and it's like it's just a reminder. And these are things that we already all know, which is like if those are people in your life that are not positive, right? Then just simply cut them off. Don't like, and yeah, there are going to be family members and things where that's really difficult. I luckily am not in a position where I don't know what to tell you about that. But they're, kind of take a personal inventory about who you're surrounding yourself with. And you might need to start fresh because like, what is it? It's like, how do you, I can't remember exactly the right question, but it's basically like, who defines you? Do I define me or do you define? I'm going to ask you that, Austin, like, who defines you?
Yeah. I always revert back to my greatest statement in Ironman racing. It's the greatest thing in the world. There's not a finish line. The only race you're running is you versus you.
So I love that. I'm gonna give you another perspective.
Give me it. I'm looking forward to it.
So, in one way to look at it is actually everyone around you actually defines you.
Ooh.
They were, and so just bear with me. They relate to you. Like I have friends that know me from high school in a certain way. I have business friends that know me in a certain way. I have family, like everyone kind of, so they think that they're defining you, like they know you in a certain way, right? And so it's up to us to project ourselves in the way that we want to be projected. And some people, they'll never forget that, that alcoholic guy that they used to hang out with back in the day. And so if they can't accept you for who you are now, and that comes from your word, what you tell them and what you show them, then those are definitely like the low-hanging fruit of people to cut out of your life. So just
wow, I think you just coached me. That is a powerful statement right there. I'm gonna replay that one. We're gonna post that everywhere, and that's a true. So let me ask you a question then. Let's say you have that relationship with a sister or brother, a best friend, right? Mm-hmm. Which I whatever you want to call it. And you've changed, right? You don't drink anymore, or you just don't want to be negative anymore. How do you go about putting in the work? Because you're not going to change them, right? So is it about changing how you feel about that situation?
It could be, I don't know exactly the situation, but I guess the hardest, most direct way to approach that would be simply, if let's just say it's your sister, to literally call them up and say, hey, listen, I'm sorry for this and that. I acknowledge this and that. And that's not who I am anymore. And this is who I am. This is what I want. This is how I want our relationship to be. And like that is a little bit of a, that's a tough one. I mean, so is that an easy conversation or a hard one? That's up to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So. I mean, it's the truth, Kyle Cease, who's one of my favorite personal development guys, super off the cuff like me. He makes a comment, and it's my favorite tagline ever. Everybody is so worried about what they'll lose by telling the truth because you can quantify it, that you have no idea what you might gain from it, because that's you don't know.
Sure.
And it's like and what we're talking about is when you set yourself free and you get clarity on who you are, this world's really simple. The only thing I ask of you, Ben, is that you show up as the best version of yourself. That's it. Nothing else. We don't know where the money's going to go. It's all like, I'm getting a lot into art right now because I'm trying to like work myself up into writing a book, right? And so I'm reading this book called Big Magic, and she's the lady that wrote Eat, Pray, Love. Fantastic book on creativity. And she said that art is just a vessel. You're just a vessel, and the art moves through you. So when you try to squeeze it and you try to like grab it and hold it, you're basically wrestling with a ghost. It doesn't work. So you just have to like put no judgment on it and just do it, right? And so as you show up and you have employees and you have people that you raise money for and all this stuff, what in your eyes is a good leader? What in your eyes is a good boss, a CEO? What tactics have you taken that allow you to work, as you say, on your business and not in your business? Because as I grow as a CEO with multiple businesses, I find that I'm not really in the day-to-day stuff. I'm more of a cheerleader slash motivator slash vision person, right? And it wasn't until I had self-awareness to realize that if it has anything to do with details or a spreadsheet, I don't need to be touching it. But like, so like, did you come to that? Did you grow into that role, or, or did you get mentored into that role?
It's a journey. It's been a process. It's been learning what my strengths are and what my weaknesses are. I'm not the CEO of the company, and not that I couldn't be. It's just not what I want. I kind of like, this is my dream job. I'm glad I don't have to worry about a lot of the things that my partner Corey's worrying about right now. And God bless him, because he's like so good at it. So that's, I guess, one perspective. Being authentic, being positive, coming from a place of contribution and helping, or trying to lift other people up at all times, like making them better people, around you. Mentoring, that's kind of, back to the teaching thing. That's been a new thing for me, to be able to pay it forward, to be able to mentor some people that have actually come into my life. There's this one guy that just approached me at a deal where I was speaking, and he asked me to mentor him. And so he calls me, and I give him some time, and I give him homework, and he comes back and does the homework. And then I, guide him a little bit. And he's learning quite a bit right now. It's pretty impressive. Smart kid. Stuff like that.
Yeah. And I think that, I make sure that they're committed and put in the work, because, you get a lot of guys that come up to you, but like, you just want to see the action, and you want to see. So like, our message to anybody that wants to be mentored or thing is like, just show up and add value, and take the lessons, and, continue to come back and over again. And we'll switch to like syndication here for a little bit and give them a little real estate stuff. When you first started out syndicating, these deals are complex. There's a lot of money involved. There's many different details. What would you give a new guy out because for me, my life changed when I entered my first mastermind and I met syndicators. That was like that was the light bulb, like, investments. Cause I was like, wait, you can buy a $15 million deal and you can have $200 in your bank account. What? I don't understand. And that was when they like explained it to me, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Yeah.
So wait, what's the question?
So like, if you're like a syndicator and you're new, right, and you don't have like the $10 million, right, and like you may not be able to do a $10 million deal. Let's just say like a 6 unit, right? That's like, what advice would you give to young investors when they're looking at syndicating deals? Maybe they don't have the capital. Maybe they have to go out and seek it and find the deal first, and and then structure it, right? Or partner up with a veteran syndicator like yourself.
Yeah. So the motto: if you find the deal, the money will find you. So I guess first and foremost, it's got to start with a good quality deal. So decide what it is that you're going to look for, whether it be multifamily, which is a very popular area, or maybe it's industrial or an office building. Or I think right now industrial is probably more of a path of least resistance right now, given the current market situation. Let's just use that as an example. Let's say, all right, I'm going to find an industrial property worth up to $3 million with, multi-tenant. So you can, diversify the risk amongst multi-tenant base, and then just start knocking on doors, start, pulling down data of properties that are within your certain geographic area that you want to hit up, and be like, we're going to try to find a deal where we can get at least a X% return. Let's just say 10% return, and just go out and find it. And then simultaneously be telling, try to find, let's say 50 people that or that know you. And if you don't have that many, however many people you can claim to know, from all the way back from now until you were in elementary school, because you have a lot of friends, whether you like it or not, that have been successful and have money, and just start touching base with them. Say, hey, connect, whatever. It's like, hey, I'm going out and I'm going to go find a deal that looks like this, the industrial, blah, 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 blah. And I'm bringing some of my friends together. We're going to go out and we're going to buy it together. Would this be something that once I find it, would this be something that you're interested in partnering with me on? And then just start documenting like people that be like, yeah, like I'm sick and tired of the volatility in the stock market. If you find that deal, I'm in. I got X amount of dollars. I'm in there with you. And we can just pull all the money together. And you could say, or you could approach someone like me and say, hey, I found this deal. I know you have relationships with investors. Bring some money to the table. I'll handle the deal. I'll earn some sweat equity in the deal. Or I know somebody that has a property that is a piece of land and it's just sitting there. There's equity. There's no debt on it. Why don't we put some debt on that property, right? And use that new cash to put up for this cash flowing deal that we're going to go buy, which will cover the nut and then some. So like that's one way that you can unlock value. I recently put a deal together. Here's something kind of creative. So my friend's parents have a piece of property. I think it was like a $2 million piece of land near Dallas that they've owned for 20 plus years. And there's no debt on it. It's still like in the path of growth, but the valuation's gone up and it just sits there. So I connected them with a friend of mine, with another group of mine that's like a big development company. And when they do their developments, they like to have access to additional cash reserves. And that is actually one of the requirements for some HUD loans. So listen to this. So what we did was we took that land worth $2 million. Okay. We got it appraised. And then we went to the lender of the developer and they made a loan that encumbered that piece of land for $1 million. So it was a 50% LTV. Okay. And in exchange, so now the developer has that $1 million. It's actually in the form of a line of credit. So we didn't even pull down on it. And in exchange, the developer is paying the landowner, I think it's 6% interest. So about $60,000 a year on that $2 million piece of land that's not doing anything. It's not being developed. There is going to be a lien on it, but in exchange, they're a massive company. They're personally guaranteeing the debt, and they're tapping into some line of credit, which they may or may not need to be able to kind of juice the liquidity requirements on the loan that they're getting for a development project that they're doing. Did that make sense?
Dude, it made 1,000% for me, at least. That is, I love it because I'm an outside the box thinker. That is some creative stuff. And that's what we're saying, guys. There's so many options and so many things. Like, never give up on a deal. You have no idea how it looks. I hang out with a lot of developers because I want to be a developer. So that is the problem they have, is the liquidity of cash to get the job up and running. You can structure loans for the job. It's the pre-work that they have trouble with, and that's a killer strategy. And then that couple that owns a $2 million land is like, hey, thanks for paying for my house for not doing anything, right? I mean, that's
covering all the taxes and then some. I mean, yeah.
And so my goal in life is that every piece of land, meaning tree, land, house, everything has to be making money. If that asset is making money and it's covering your taxes, maybe you're not cash flowing, but at least you're not going out negative the other way, right? And so that's from, and obviously not right now, but that's from Airbnb, how I've been able to like always have assets that I buy right, and then they're producing larger capital returns, and it's a write-off. So, I mean, there's so many different waterfalls of layers down. When you did your first two, let's say, syndication deals, what was easier than you thought it was going to be, and what was way harder than you thought it was going to be?
It's hard to point out what's easier.
You can just do one for each. If you like raising capital, was that like way easier than you thought if the deal was good, or was that like still pulling teeth?
When the deal is good, it's easier than you think.
Hmm.
But it does take building that track record. So early on, I would say it was easy. It was easy to get people to talk to. It was easy to when I like we kind of talked about earlier. It was easy when it's you're not trying to sell them something, but when you're just sort of saying, "Hey, here's an opportunity. Here's what I like about it. Here's what I don't like about it. Here's the risks. Here's the
Mm,
rewards." All that
yeah.
kind of stuff. So people will hear you out. You might get a shitload of no's, but then like when they say yes, oh my, I didn't realize how heartwarming it would be that somebody would actually, trust me with their hard-earned money. And we
Yeah.
take that very seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Matt Tefke. He said one of the greatest lines. He's like, I put in 60 offers a day. He goes, I'm just collecting those. It gets me closer to the yes.
Amen.
And it's like, that's the truth. And you got to keep pounding it, and you got to keep pounding it, because it's amazing to me. And I'm only talking about myself, how you can have like small successes in a type of field. And then all of a sudden you're an expert. And it's like, I still don't even know what I'm doing, but it's like the track record. Right. And so I would imagine, as you get farther along and you've been doing this for a long time now, that people almost seek you out to. That's what people don't understand. The money's not going away. There's money out there everywhere. It's just, is your deal good enough, and does your reputation precede that deal? If you continually add value and get these people money, there are tons of people hiding in the weeds that have money that you've never heard about.
Yeah, not only that, but also kind of back to the creativity. There's people that have significant amounts of equity, which isn't actually cash, but it is something that you can leverage to go and do something else with.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be creative in that way, you know?
1,000%. I mean, I'm going to think about that land deal for the rest of my life, because I'm like, wait, how can I go find these people that have all these land deals and go do deals with? So, you love what you do. You're comfortable. What do you, in your head? Maybe you don't have it mapped out 100%, but over the next, 5 years, 6 years, do you see yourself continuing down this path and maybe doing some more investments on your own? Or what really gets your gears going? What gets you excited? What kind of space do you like to invest in yourself? Because commercial is such a broad thing. What is kind of your what do you like right now? What is your bread and butter? If we're talking about just today as we sit.
So, first of all, the one of the first questions. I'm excited about the path I'm going on with the company that I'm a partner in, HJH Investments, with my partner Corey. We think that there will be, probably starting in August, September, there's going to be a lot more pain, and for better or worse, it's just reality. Other people's pain is another person's opportunity. It's
Mm-hmm.
just, when someone sells a piece of stock, in the stock market, someone else is, thinking that's the right move, and someone else is thinking buying it is the right move. So that's just the reality of how things are. We are, from a business perspective, I'd say we are, I guess, slightly more focused on pursuing industrial properties. We just put another industrial deal under contract yesterday, and that segment hasn't been as affected by COVID. And I also kind of, knock on wood, hope that maybe there will be some cultural shift in America to bring more manufacturing types of things back to America, as opposed to just immediately wanting to outsource everything to other countries. And so I think in general that will be something that occurs. I don't have any evidence to back up this theory, but I think that states are going to need to find ways to raise more revenue, and I think that legalizing marijuana is sort of on that path. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that those types of uses require significant amounts of industrial. If Texas were to legalize it, for example, like,
Geez,
it's so freaking hot here.
dude, it would
So
make California look like it's nothing if Texas legalized it.
yeah, I mean, everything's bigger in Texas. We all know that. So I mean, that who knows? It's just a theory backed by no evidence whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some things to be thinking about.
And I would imagine that I just get so fascinated by talking to developers, because the data that y'all pull, the data, the numbers, you kind of have to read the tea leaves a couple years in advance. And that's why I'm so bullheaded on San Antonio. Like my buddy does all the big developments here, and my house went up, 300 grand, 200 grand in 2 years. And so I lived in Austin when the boom happened. I literally worked on South Congress at Perla's. Like, I watched it happen in front of my face. And, you have to buck the norm if you want to catch the wave. Right. And you're not 100% correct. Right. But I love your theory on, they're mad at, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to get in politics, but they're mad at them because they gave us the buy, whatever you want to say. And so I would imagine that I agree with you. I think that America is going to start, banging out more industrial, and who has more land than anybody else? We do. and my friend texted me yesterday from Sacramento, and she's like, y'all just getting everything right now? And I'm like, yeah, pretty much. Like, she's just talking about Tesla might be coming, and like all the businesses keep moving here. And I'm like, yeah, dude, we've got tons of land. There's like, you haven't even been out to West Texas. I just drove through it. You can drive for 10 hours and there's nothing. We got plenty of room. And so I would imagine, as the same joy I get, it's so much fun to be in an environment like Austin and the path of progress, right? Where there's excitement, right? It's not the other way around. It's and like, I always thought that it was going to stop, but we're not even close. I mean, I thought we reached a peak like 3 years ago. I was dead wrong, because what is there? Like, I saw a report, there's like 40 skyscrapers scheduled for Austin over the next like 10 years, right?
Something like that. Obviously not that those plans are going to be hindered.
Might change just a bit. Yeah. But yeah, I would imagine the juice of that, just like the watching it happen, is so exciting. And I would imagine it keeps you elevated, right? Into opportunities of optimism.
Yeah. Birds of a feather flock together. So, the city and the culture in general is something that resonates significantly with me, especially all the health and wellness stuff that goes on here. Is super fun. And it's
almost like you picked my next question for me, because I've been following you. That was like made for TV right there. I've been following you on Instagram. I'm an Instagram stalker of you. And dude, you've been putting in the work. You've been working out. I've seen your crazy workouts. So is that something, because I truly believe that health is the foundation for everything. I think it's the number one pillar. Is that something you believe in too? Has this always been the case, or has this been like recently?
Yeah, it's been cyclical. I mean, I've had my struggles with it as well. Luckily, I really enjoy the physical aspects of it, the working out and all that kind of stuff. I do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday workout with some buddies in the park, and then Tuesday, Thursday, and then Saturday I mix it up. Like today, I did this jump rope challenge that I created. I think I did 15 rounds of 100 jump ropes, 5 push-ups, 10 sit-ups with a 10-pound weight vest on. And took me, how long did it take me? 27 minutes, but it was intense. The hardest part, and it's like, when it comes out of fitness, it's like, this is what everyone knows, but in my opinion is the hardest part, is the eating, right? And so now I just got remeasured my body fat, because weight is not the right metric, period.
Yep.
So the new thing that I'm like focused on right now is cutting the carbs and the sugars. And so right now I'm having a smoothie. I'm allowed to have it after a workout, but I don't allow myself to have carbs and sugars after lunch.
Okay.
So that's that. Giving that up.
Ooh, I might have to bring that into my routine.
Just because if after a workout, like your body needs that to and it burns it off. But I'm not going to work out this afternoon, so I'm a morning workout kind of guy, and so if you eat it in the afternoon, then that's when it is more likely to turn to fat. And I am not an expert on this by any means, but and then also just like listening to your body, like what feels good and what doesn't feel good. Eating a lot of red meat. I learned, as much as I love to have a steak or brisket or whatever, like just doesn't serve me well. My body doesn't feel well the next day. So listening to things like that.
Yeah, I actually went vegetarian for 120 days and did my first half Ironman vegetarian on purpose, just to see. And man, I felt good. I felt great. But I 100% agree with you on the weight stuff. It is not weight. I played that game. I broke the scale. It fluctuates like a yo-yo, and it's based on body fat and how you feel. And if you feel great, then the rest of that doesn't matter. And so when you're going into these hard workouts, that jump rope, I'm getting exhausted thinking about the jumping rope. How do you feel in your life, in your day job, when you're putting in that hard work? I would imagine that it's like an explosion, right? Of just like superhuman almost.
Yeah, for me, it's just my favorite way to start the day is to get the heart rate going. It sets you on the path for the rest of the day. Whenever I do go a day where I don't, I'm sluggish. So there's a direct correlation in my head. But again, it's like different for everybody. You got to figure out what works for you.
Sure. I've been doing cold showers for the last month. It's been a game changer for me. And I'm doing a little breathing techniques. I'm getting heavy into the breathing techniques. And so these are things, guys, these are tools in your tool belt to make you even more conditioned in business and in your mind. And that's what we're talking about here is just, making sure that you're optimizing the performance of you as a person, which is in this time very hard to not be able to do your regular things. But these are not excuses to, just so you know, me and Ben have zero fucks given about I had to bring it back because I love it so much.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep, we don't care about your excuses. Zero fucks given. But dude, I thank you so much, man. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for going on. Actually going to drive to Austin tomorrow to go hang out with Matt. So we are due to hang out, and talk shop soon. So thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me on and some great deep questions and improvising with me. It's been a lot of fun, and wish you best of luck on your journey, and welcome anybody in your audience that thinks that maybe I could help you out. Feel free to reach out. You can hit me on the LinkedIn at Ben Kogut, on Instagram, all that good stuff. Anything like that. So here to help.
Yeah, dude, follow this guy on Instagram. He's Tyler just released a podcast with him today. Fantastic information, big player in the game. So thank you so much, man.
All right, my pleasure.
Thank you for listening to Construct Your Life with Austin Linney. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to rate, review, subscribe, and pay it forward by sharing with a friend. Most importantly, take this opportunity to start constructing your life by taking immediate action on what you learned. For show notes, resources, and more information on one-on-one coaching with Austin, visit constructyourlifepodcast.com.